Tomorrow I will die. I sit beneath the cliffs of Thermopylae. The stone is cold against my back, and the wind from the Malian Gulf carries salt and the faint stench of the dead. The fires burn low. Around me, men speak in whispers or not at all. We know now that we are surrounded. The Persians have crossed the mountain path. The trail called Anopia has betrayed us. Dawn will bring the end. I am a Spartan hoplite, son of a Spartan, raised in the Agoge from the age of 7. I have slept on reeds, bled in training yards, learned to endure hunger without complaint. I have fought before in border wars and skirmishes against Argos. I know the weight of the aspis on my arm and the balance of the doru in my hand. I know the sound bronze makes when it splits bone, and I know the silence that follows when a man falls. This war did not begin at these rocks. Years ago, King Darius demanded earth and water from the cities of Hellas, tokens of submission. Some gave them. Athens and Eretria did not. They aided the Ionian Greeks in revolt across the sea. Sardis burned, and Persia remembered. Darius marched once and was beaten at Marathon. Now his son Xerxes has returned with an army greater than any we have seen, determined to bend all Greece beneath his will. We heard of his preparations for years. A bridge of ships across the Hellespont, a canal cut through Mount Athos, nations summoned from the ends of his empire. I have seen them with my own eyes these past days. Medes in patterned tunics, Persians in scale armor, Assyrians with tall shields, Egyptians with long spears, Indians carrying bows taller than themselves, and among them the immortals. 10,000 chosen men, their ranks kept always full, their armor glittering, their discipline steady. They are brave, I will not deny it. Against them stand we Greeks. Spartans, Thespians, Thebans, Corinthians, Phocians, men from Arcadia and beyond. At the beginning we were near 7,000. Not merely 300, though those 300 are the king's guard, each with a living son to carry his name. We did not come here seeking death. We came to hold the pass. When we marched into Thermopylae, we understood the ground, a narrow strip between mountain and sea so tight that chariots are useless and cavalry cannot ride. Here the phalanx becomes a wall, shield locked to shield, spear points bristling like the spines of a beast. Here numbers lose their advantage. Here discipline decides. On the first day, Xerxes waited, believing we would flee at the sight of his host. We did not move. When at last he sent the Medes forward, they came shouting, confident, pressing into the narrow way. They met our shields. The impact shook my arm to the shoulder. We stepped forward in unison, driving with shield and spear. Their lighter armor failed them in the crush. We pushed them back over their own dead. When they fell, others came. Then came the immortals. I remember their gold and their ordered ranks. They fought well, striking low, aiming for the gaps beneath our shields, but the pass was too tight. They could not outflank us. We rotated our lines, fresh men replacing the weary. The sun burned overhead. Blood ran in thin streams toward the sea. The second day was worse. Xerxes grew impatient. More waves, more shouting, more arrows darkening the sky. We laughed when told their arrows would blot out the sun. "Then we shall fight in the shade," one of our men said, and we did. Our sandals slipped on bodies. My spear splintered in a Persian's chest. I drew my short sword and fought at arm's length. By evening, the sand was black and red together. We believed the pass would hold. Then came the betrayal. A man named Ephialtes of Trachis went to Xerxes in the night. For gold or for favor or for hatred of his own people, I do not know. He revealed the path that winds above the cliffs, the track called Anopeia. The Phocians guarded it, 1,000 men posted to prevent exactly this. But in darkness the immortals climbed. They surprised the Phocians at dawn's edge. The Phocians withdrew to higher ground, and the Persians did not pursue them. They marched instead toward our rear. The warning reached us before the light touched the peaks. A runner, breath ragged, armor unfastened, speaking of torches moving in the hills. Word passed from mouth to mouth. The sound in our camp changed. Not fear, something heavier, understanding. King Leonidas called the allies to council. I stood far enough to see his face in the firelight. He did not rage. He did not curse the traitor. He listened. Then he spoke calmly. The allies were free to depart. Their duty had been done. Some argued, some wept. Many left at once, ordered to carry news south. The Thespians remained by choice. The Thebans stayed, though their loyalty was uncertain. We Spartans did not consider leaving. Our law does not allow retreat when ordered to stand, and Leonidas did not order retreat. Leonidas, our king, broad-shouldered, bearded, steady. He walks the line even now, speaking quietly to each of us. He knows the oracle spoken at Delphi, that either Sparta would fall or a king of her line must die. He has chosen the meaning of that prophecy, and Xerxes, the great king. He watches from afar, seated high, attended by nobles. He believes that victory tomorrow will prove the inevitability of his empire. Perhaps he is right in the moment. He will take this pass, he will march south, but he will not understand what was bought here. We are surrounded. By midday they will press from the front and rear. Our spears will break. When they do, we will draw swords. When swords shatter, we will fight with daggers, with hands, with teeth. The pass will choke on bodies before we fall. We will not win. I do not deceive myself, but every hour we hold delays his advance. The fleet gathers near Salamis. Athens has emptied its people to the ships. The cities prepare. Our deaths will echo louder than our lives. The sky grows pale. I hear the distant beat of drums and the murmur of many feet. My shield rests beside me, its bronze scarred from 2 days of war. I tighten the strap around my arm. I kiss the rim as my father once did before battle. When the sun rises above these cliffs, we will form again, shield to shield, spear to spear, breathing as one body as we were trained since childhood. Let them come from both sides. When their arrows darken the sky, we will fight in the shade. I am a Spartan soldier, and at dawn, I fulfill my duty.
The Battle of Thermopylae took place in 480 BCE during the Second Persian invasion of Greece. It was part of a coordinated Persian campaign led by King Xerxes I, who sought to conquer the Greek mainland after the earlier defeat of his father, Darius, at Marathon. Thermopylae was not chosen by chance. The narrow coastal pass between mountain and sea offered the Greeks a rare strategic advantage. In open terrain, the Persian army vastly outnumbered them. In a confined space, however, numbers mattered less. Discipline, armor, and formation would decide the outcome. The Greek force was led by King Leonidas of Sparta. Contrary to popular legend, the defenders were not only 300 Spartans. At the beginning of the battle, approximately 7,000 Greek soldiers were present, including contingents from Thespiae, Thebes, Corinth, Phocis, and other city-states. The 300 Spartans formed Leonidas's royal guard, each chosen because he had a living son to continue his family line. For 2 days, the Greeks successfully repelled repeated Persian assaults. The tightly organized hoplite phalanx proved highly effective in the narrow pass. Even the elite Persian unit, known as the Immortals, failed to break the Greek line. The turning point came when a local man named Ephialtes revealed a mountain path called Anapeia to Xerxes. This route allowed Persian forces, led by Hydarnes, to outflank the Greek position during the night. At dawn on the third day, Leonidas learned that his army was surrounded. Understanding the situation, Leonidas dismissed most of the allied contingents to preserve their forces for future battles. He remained with his 300 Spartans, joined voluntarily by 700 Thespians and a contingent of Thebans. They fought until overwhelmed. Although the Persians ultimately captured the pass, the stand at Thermopylae achieved its strategic purpose. It delayed Xerxes' advance and provided valuable time for the Greek city-states to organize their defenses. Later that year, the Persian navy would suffer a decisive defeat at Salamis, and the following year, Persian land forces were defeated at Plataea. Thermopylae became more than a military engagement. It became a symbol of resistance, sacrifice, and the defense of autonomy against overwhelming power. The battle demonstrated that unity, discipline, and strategic positioning could challenge even the largest empire of the ancient world. More than 2,000 years later, the story endures, not as myth alone, but as history shaped by courage and calculated resolve. If you enjoyed this story, leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. It helps this channel grow.